So yeah, anyways, you can remove a component, say I will never put that sensor up, and I'm getting annoyed that it's always telling me that the sensor is not contacting the base station, whatever, it's annoying, I'm going to remove it. But for now, like I said, I won't. By the way, to enter any of these, you just press the away. You know, I mean, it's very self-explanatory. You match up these buttons, doesn't take too much to think about that. By the way, each of them have a number, so like I can press 1 and I'll go back to change pin. Number 4 will be remove component. 2 will be dialing prefix. 6 will be to exit that menu. 5 is the test mode. You know what? Let's just go ahead and go into test mode right now. Okay, so in case you don't hear what the base station is saying, you're probably not. It's just saying the system has just entered test mode. If you want to test your motion sensor, please use the button below it. So right now the motion sensors are not actually active. What I mean by that is they're not getting tested right now until you push the button below it, which I'll show you in a second. But all these sensors right now, I mean, they're hot, they're live, but they're not going to set off an alarm. It's just going to have the base station say motion sensor when it's set off. So listen in. Okay. Just said entry sensor. Cool. What you do, you go around your house, you test every single one, you make sure the base station responds. We're going to go ahead and go over to the motion sensor, which is almost the last component that I've installed. There's also a panic button located in the house, which we'll go over after this. But I'm going to stand up on a chair because I'm not tall enough. I'm a tall dude, but not tall enough for this. So here's the motion sensor. It has no like visible light inside. Usually I have some green light that indicates it's sensing someone. It doesn't. Actually very useful, because if an intruder is at your house, you don't want it to see that. You want it to accidentally trip it so that the authorities are actually, you know, deployed. So you kind of want to be secretive where it is for an intruder. But on the bottom, once you enter test mode, so guys, this button does absolutely nothing unless you're in test mode. Once you're in test mode, you got to push it. So listen up, it's going to say motion sensor. Okay, this motion sensor for the next 5 minutes is strictly in test mode, and it will not be active even if an intruder goes in your house. So, you know, yes, you just have to, and you hear it saying motion sensor because it senses me. So what you're supposed to do is walk out of the room for 15 seconds, and that is the time it takes for that motion sensor to sort of reset its test mode. Don't ask me why I have like a naked dude on the, he's not really naked. I'm just watching Into the Wild at the moment. If you read the book or seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so okay, 15 seconds pass by. Let's go ahead and test out when it's going to react. So the sensor's over there. Oh, it just reacted. Look at that. Wow. So it can see all the way over here. Like, guys, this is a huge area. This is the kitchen, the dining, the living room. I'm walking very slowly, by the way. I'm not like waving my hands or anything. There you go. It's not about your speed. It looks for infrared objects that are higher than 50 pounds. So it's just got an algorithm that looks for larger or smaller infrared objects. Now the cool thing is basement door, if you come out of there and the house is in away mode, because that is when that sensor is activated. Obviously guys, when it's home mode, you don't want the sensor active, because guess what? Well, I'm walking over here. My parents are walking over here. I don't know what's going on. Somebody's going to walk on, set the system off. That's not what you want to happen. Meanwhile, when the system is away, nobody's in home, you obviously want it on because there shouldn't be anybody walking here. Now, like I said, if you have pets, it is pet friendly for 30 pounds or less. Now, of course, there are dogs that are a lot more than 30 pounds. They could be 40, 50, 60. I don't know. I never had a dog. But there is a sensitivity setting on each of the sensors. Once again, you have to use your keychain remote for that. Plug it into a computer. It'll label it as a motion sensor. There's like off, low, medium, high. You know, if you have some really heavy dogs or just a lot of dogs in general, you probably set it to medium or low. And you know what? Put it in test mode and let your dogs run around. Test it out. This is exactly what this is for. And this is so user-friendly that it's awesome. This is, by the way, I'm not trying to endorse SimpliSafe. I'm just being an honest reviewer here. I didn't get sponsored or anything. I paid my own money for the system. I paid $407 for the system. It wasn't cheap at all, but it's a lot cheaper than paying to say ADT or Brinks or anything. My dad has ADT at his work, and I can see the system being easily implemented to his work for a lot cheaper. He's paying extreme fees per month for all the fire and whatever, carbon monoxide, all that kind of stuff, because it's a pizzeria. So there's a lot of things that have to be monitored there. But this system, you keep hearing it say motion sensor because I'm obviously standing in front of it. But you know what? Let's go to this side of the room where I have our I should say not my, but our awesome Christmas tree. It doesn't look that great when you put a flash on it. It looks a lot better if I would have been able to turn it off right now. But this is not a Christmas tree review, right? So let's see if it triggers me. I'm going to move really slowly. Remember, it is 180 degrees. It's not like... So it technically should sense me really soon here. Come on. So pretend like I entered that window, right? Because there's no other way to get to this part of the house without triggering it in the first place. Okay, so there we go. So as much as I tried, I only got close to exiting the living room area, but I never did. So a really good location for this. Also, it looks straight down the hallway. That was my plan. I wanted to place it up there, but I realized that it's not going to cover as much area as I wanted. I mean, these windows are protected by entry sensors. There's no reason. These windows here even have like a actual, I never realized that these are metal. So what these are is, first of all, this window is it's a very expensive window. It's made out of a special type of layer of plastic that apparently protects it from breaking. You'll break the glass, but you won't be able to break the plastic. Plus, this right here, guys, you're only getting through with I don't know, some metal pliers or some, I don't know, metal cutters, but it's a really big pain in the ass to cut through these. So when thieves see these, they're not going to try. And then of course, as long as you lock your windows, they're not going to try to pry them open. Like, come on, really? The only windows that need to be protected are windows like those where they can break. For that, they have like glass break sensors, which I didn't purchase yet. I might or might not. They sort of can be set up by simply clapping your hands, so you have to be careful because that's literally how you test them. You test them by clapping your hands near a window. So if somebody decides to go to your house and, I don't know, you're celebrating a birthday party or watching a really intense concert, although I would never suggest to clap your hands unless you're at the actual concert, but there's those people. They'll clap their hands and boom, they set off the alarm, and it's like, whoa, what's going on? So they have a lot of improvements to do, but I don't think the glass break is so important as the entry and the motion sensors are. Now I am planning to purchase about 2 more motion sensors, placing at least one right there and probably somewhere upstairs. I don't want to say where the valuables are in this house. I already revealed all the, strategic points of my house. I hope nobody knows where I live, but even if you do, I really don't suggest to breach this house. There are, guns in this house and real weapons, and, we're not afraid to use them if that is the case. Anyways, I'm not going to get into all that kind of stuff. So guys, let's go ahead and actually exit test mode. We don't need it anymore. We're going to actually activate the panic button as is. So I'm going to go ahead and go. Yeah, entry sensor is not responding, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go to 6. Oh, that's a 9. And then I'm going to go ahead and say entered. That is going to exit the menu and we are off. Okay, now we're going to go upstairs. I mean, Simply Safe. What I like about the voice is it's not a robotic voice. They actually got a professional recording of all the commands and stuff like that. So that's very nice. And you can update your base station via the entry key and stuff like that. So we're in my parents' master bedroom, and I placed the panic button in their room simply because I know they're not going to keep their car keys up here. And therefore they're not going to have the second key fob that they need. But what I did is I placed a panic button right here. Now, compared to your hand size, this is really small. I mean, it's probably 3 inches by 2. It's not a big button. And it's very useful because I can be laying in bed, say at night, and I hear somebody screwing around downstairs, and I know that it's, not anybody else, maybe an intruder. Or, I don't know, something's happening, somebody's in here, I don't know what's going to happen, but whatever. You feel threatened. Now, a lot of people think this is, oh, what if I accidentally bump it? Well, Nothing. You have to hold it down for 2 seconds. All right, for it to set off. Now there's 2 modes. There's the mode that it's in right now, which is the alarm mode. When you push it, it's gonna sound the alarm. It's gonna contact the center right away. They're gonna give you a call if you don't respond. There's gonna be authorities. Number 2, there's a silent mode, which is probably very useful if you're gonna install this at a business location. Silent mode still sets off a signal to the monitoring center, but there's no audible alarm, so the intruder will never know you set it off. And the police is dispatched right away. There will be no phone calls. There will be nothing. So, you know, you got to be careful when you use the panic button because, in silent mode, I mean, because that's going to set off the authorities right away. There's no calling. There's no going back. Anyways, let's go ahead and give it a shot. Once again, don't do this. I'm in test. I am in whatever 3-day trial. So let's go. Let's do this. Okay, it is set off. You might or might not be able to hear it at this point. It's kind of loud. I mean, you can definitely hear it. You'll probably wake up. So yeah, I'm sure you guys can hear it at this point. Whatever, at this point the authorities will be dispatched. Let's go ahead and use the remote to turn it off. I wish this camera would not just show a white piece of plastic here, and it would. This flash is just too bright for it. Last but not least, panic button, away mode, and off mode. Away mode is like blue. Man, this is way too bright. Away mode is when you leave the house, you press away. So it's beeping right now. You got 60 seconds to exit. In the last 5 seconds, it's actually going to go beep, 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 beep. The alarm is now armed. But all motion sensors and entry sensors are active. That's what it's going to say. We're going to go ahead and turn it off. You can do that at any time. There's no password needed to turn it off. Like, say there's a countdown and you turn it off, you can do that. There's only a password required when you're trying to turn off after the home or away mode is activated or the alarm goes off. Now, this is a really smart system. Say, let's pretend this door is somewhere downstairs, or maybe it's a window that you left open and you're leaving your house. Why can't I open it? Oh, there we go. Let's pretend you don't know that it's open, okay? Pretend like you don't see anything and you're like, all right, let's go away. Okay, it just said, please exit the house. Warning, door or window open. So it's very smart. It's going to notify you as you leave that something is left open. If you use their $24.99 service, you're going to be able to see this all in the mobile app, which I'm probably going to upgrade to anyways, because it's useful. Because, you know, once you exit the area of the base station, you can't use this key fob anymore once you exit the house far away. But the mobile app, you can be in freaking Australia and you have a house in the United States. As long as you have internet connection, you can disarm house. You can monitor the closing and opening of the sensors, temperature if you have the sensor, anything, water sensor, carbon monoxide, smoke sensor. So, you know, this is an expandable system up to 41 components as far as I know. Super useful. You can cut the landline, you can cut the internet, it doesn't matter. It's got a chip inside it just like a phone, so it will contact either way. So unless you breach the house in a particular matter and destroy the base station before it is set off, you have no chances of not setting it off in a way. So yeah, I'm looking forward to expanding the system to more motion sensors and entry sensors, as well as a few smoke and one carbon monoxide sensor. You know, that's pretty important. That's life-threatening stuff, and it's definitely worth to put it on the system since it's, you know, automatic contact of dispatch center. It's your ADT system that is installed by you. No contracts, month-to-month basis, downgrade or upgrade at any time. You know, if you're going away or something, say you have a vacation house and you just want to monitor it during your vacation while you're away from there, well, you can pay for those months and then you can stop. And while you're there, maybe you don't want it, so you can, you know, cancel and just keep it as an alarm. Like right now, it's not going to contact dispatch center because, like I said, it's not, you know, there's no subscription. I haven't set it up yet online. Now, I will probably show you the online part of me setting up. Now, I won't show you a lot of stuff like serial numbers and stuff, because if you guys gain access to my serial numbers of the base station, I have no idea what you can do. with that, I'm sure you'll be able to do something nasty, and I don't want that happening. So yeah, I'll show you as much as I can of the online registration part. There's no YouTube video of any time recent that shows you the online registration or anything in depth. I think I provided a very in-depth guide on how the SimpliSafe system works. A lot of people just make these 5-minute videos, these cheesy, shaky videos that are just so hard to watch. The online application.